Hey, sports porchers, it's your hockey Jesus with game 57 Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Seattle Kraken. Well, I'm giving you a morning update today. Yesterday was a travel day for your hockey Jesus, as you can tell by the little bit different. Taking a little trip out to the lovely town of San Francisco. You may have heard of it. It's here in the United States. Out here visiting my daughter, and unfortunately, last night, United Airlines did not cooperate with Wi-Fi on the plane. Hey guys, let's get that antenna fixed so the hockey Jesus can watch hockey while flying. But hey, rough night for the Penguins last night. Let's break it down here on the Sports Porch. That's what we do. Well, Pittsburgh Penguins fans, waking up this morning to a disappointing look at what happened last night in Seattle. Look, when you got to win this many games, you're going to run into a hot goalie. Absolutely what happened to the Penguins last night. Unfortunately, if it happens versus a team that's, got a really hot goalie, somebody who's just, unbelievably good. But look, Philip Grubauer, ah, that's just a hard pill to swallow this morning. I'm looking at it, and hey, the Penguins didn't do what they normally do, which is come out in the first period and just kind of wait the first 5 minutes and let the other team score and then get to their game. They actually got to their game right away. They had 18 shots in the first period. When I finally got Wi-Fi getting off the plane, scrolling through, I see the Pens app and I saw they lose 2-0, and of course, as a hockey Jesus, as a fan of the Pittsburgh Penguins, I'm disappointed because that was such a great win the other night. And then I'm like, okay, well, how does this work? You never know, because it could just be they played terrible. They just didn't have it. They just didn't get too many shots on goal. I went back and I saw the highlights on SN Canada, and they do a really good job, by the way. If you need to catch up on games, you want to catch a synopsis, they do about a 12-minute analysis. They show every shot. It's not you're not going to get the whole flavor of the game, but I think they do a nice enough job that if you miss a game, you can get the flavor for what's going on. Look, the Penguins came with their A game in the first period, and I really like that about this team. They can switch it up. Sometimes the first period's garbage. Not this first period. They were really on their game. You're going to have to, with Russ being out on the IR now, and trade deadlines coming up. Jake's not due back till after the trade deadline, so he may not be back at all in a Pittsburgh Penguin uniform. They have to find a way to get something going. And last night they put Riley Smith up on the first line with Raquel and Sid. I mean, Sid had 4 or 5 shots on goal. So I think they were going. I just think Philip Grubauer was a brick wall last night. And 18 when you're losing the shot total 18 to, I believe it was 6 or something like that, and you're losing the game 1-0, that's almost always a bad sign for the team that's got 18 shots. I don't care what happens in that time period. You have to get a goal to go in. You got to make something happen. And the goal that went in against the Penguins, really? Like, what was that? It was a shot that went up in the air, and Jari kind of jumped up, and it kind of went underneath him as the guy hits it out of the air. Look, the Penguins got no puck luck last night. Harkins, I know, had a really good opportunity. I know Raquel had a really good opportunity even into the second period. But other than that, the Penguins really, hey, there's a hockey Jesus wife back there in the background. You can say hi to her. She's not going to say hi back, but, it's a small apartment here in San Francisco, so that's what you get. You get a little bit of everything. So, look, the Penguins are in trouble now. They really had to win most of these games on the road. Switching out a win in Vancouver for a win in Seattle, not going to do it. That's going to still be bad news for the Pens. They literally have to win the rest of their games. here on the West Coast to get back up to speed. I know they got some weak games when they come back into Pittsburgh, against, I believe, Montreal and Columbus. You cannot wait. They only have 62 points at game 57. That's not enough. They should already be at 66 or 68. And honestly, the difference between making the playoffs and not making the playoffs is going to be 4 points. Losing these 4 points to Philip Grubauer in Seattle, I don't care. The third period was garbage. They ran out of steam. They had 5 shots on goal in the third period. That's not going to do it. It seems like this is the way the Penguins, when the bad Penguins are out there, they get an okay play from Jari. I think he had like a .927 save percentage. That should be good enough to win the game. You should be able to score 1 or 2 goals. But with this team gutted the way they are, it's going to be hard for them to do it. And they got to find secondary scoring. Look, congratulations to Carter. I think he's played in his 1,300th NHL game, and his kids were there and they got to announce the lineup. That's good for him. The Penguins do a really nice job of incorporating players in their milestones and their achievements in their career, but I don't think that's going to equate to Pittsburgh Penguins winning playoff games. So this is what we got. This is what we're going to have to deal with from now until the end of this season, at least. But hey, look, the trade season's coming up. The trade deadline's coming up, and there's a lot of speculation about what's going to happen with Jake. There's even talk of, Lars Eller maybe being on the block if they want to burn it down. Maybe people want Raquel. He's a streaky scorer. I don't know what's going to happen, to be honest with you. Probably Ned's going to go. From what I can see is they believe in Jari. Jari is definitely going to be the man. I don't think that they're going to end up trading Tristan Jari. I know, there's a lot of trade talk going on. It's 1 week until the trade deadline. A week from now, we'll know everything that's going to be happening and going to be going on. Not a lot of trades already in the NHL. So I think everybody's kind of waiting to see what the Penguins are going to do with Jake, and that's only going to happen when we see what the Penguins do on the ice. So last night, the Pittsburgh Penguins lose to Seattle's first shutout of the season, and a terrible time for the Pittsburgh Penguins to get shut out. They got to find a way to get 4 more goals. So on the Calgary, maybe we can beat a playoff team that's not going to be in the playoffs. That's Calgary. They're not very good, but got to win the next 2, boys. So let's go at it, Pittsburgh Penguins. Hey, one thing I forgot to mention is don't forget to smash this button right down here. Smash that button. You'll get subscribed to the Hockey Jesus. I'm coming live to you after every game. A little late this morning, but hey, as they say, better late than never. And your Pittsburgh Penguins are still in this, but you have to keep the faith. And let's go, Pens.